Alright, welcome back YouTube. Brad Akimo here from Reload Hawaii. Tonight we're going to be talking about a pair of pistols that shoot an extremely popular caliber, the 22 long rifle. And let's face it, I mean, even in my opinion, I blame the 22 long rifle for getting thousands of new shooters hooked into the sport of shooting. And that's what we need. We need a lot of new people to start shooting so we can keep this heritage alive. Reasons, it's very cheap. You can go out there and shoot it all day. It's very low recoil, so the physical demand on your body isn't very big. And as far as availability, at least in my area, November 2015, it's readily available. So you get all those things put together, and it's very satisfying for a new shooter to see the results at 25 yards, 50, 75, 100, especially when you're plinking. It's a fun time, and that's what we need, is to have people keep coming back. And that's what this video is about. Do you have to spend a lot of money to get decent-sized groups with a 22 long rifle pistol? Now, I know the word decent is going to be subjective, and some people will say a penny or a dime is a good grouping. But let's be reasonable. For this video, I'm going to say that a decent-sized grouping is the size of maybe a Chips Ahoy cookie. So do you got to spend big bucks? Now, the review I did just before this one, we had Ruger versus Smith & Wesson, and it was a revolver video. And I think most people would agree that Smith & Wesson is more well known for their revolver than Ruger. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to take the same two companies, Smith & Wesson. This is a model 22A. This one can be found for about $180 with plastic grips, or if you want it as configured with these sexy wood laminate grips, about $300. And then we're going to take a Ruger, and I think most people will agree that Ruger is more well known for their 22 long rifle. We're going to put these two next to each other. Now this one you can spend for maybe $550 to $600, and there's various Ruger models. It can go all the way down to about $250. But for this sexy, sleek stainless steel 6 7/8 slab-side barrel, is it worth it to get great results? $180 to $300 versus $550 to $600. Is it worth it? I don't know. Shoots. All right, guys, before getting into the actual side-by-side comparisons, I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Dexter Lum from Real Steel Tactical. He lent me this AIM Sports 2 MOA red dot, $50 lifetime warranty. Thanks you so much, Dexter. This review would have been an absolute mess without having some kind of red dot to help me, shoot straight, because I cannot shoot for iron sights to save my life. So once again, thanks, Dex. If you guys need any gunsmithing done, contact him. He does really good work on 22 rifles. He can take the most sloppiest 22 rifle and make it ridiculously like sub MOA accurate. So once again, thanks, Dex. You'll never be getting this dot back. Okay, moving on to the review. As usual on Stumpy, I've got the two pistols on there. One on the bottom, that's going to be the Smith, and the one on the top, that's going to be the Ruger. So as always, let's make sure that these are safe. I'm going to pick up the Ruger first, flip it over, got no magazine in there. Let me turn it around, make sure that this chamber is clear. Got it. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way. Let's make sure that the Smith is good. I'm going to flip it upside down also. Look at the gaping hole in that thing. Oh my God, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Got nothing in there. Okay, it's set. So let's talk about the Smith here. This is the 22A. This is a 5.5-inch barrel, and the rail on this thing is absolutely beautiful. It's weaver based, so you can put any type of optic on there that will accept the weaver. I can see the elevation here, and it's also windage adjustable. Nice big screw heads in there. Sights, nothing really popular or special about it. Let me flip it over to the left side so you can see the Smith & Wesson model 22A-1. On the right side, you have the 22 long rifle, annotated for the caliber. And let's talk about the grips. Beautiful wood laminate grips. I really wanted these. I didn't want to get the cheaper one because I just felt like the Target grips were nicer. Beautiful Smith & Wesson logo engraved in there. Really love them. The only bad thing is a huge hole in here. I mean, it feels good in the hand, but check this out. the magazine like totally disappears when you put it in there. Like my whole thumb goes in there. It's gone. It's a Bermuda Triangle of magazines, and you know sometimes when your hands are even shooting for a while, it's hard to jam that in there. There's a look at the magazine release. It's actually in a front strap of the gun. So for people with smaller hands, boom, that thing comes flying out there. You know, very easy to eject. I mean, it literally flies out there. But God, look at this thing, man. It goes all the way in there. Oh. So I'm going to cock this back a little bit. I have to do it this way because there's a magazine disconnect there. But I just want to show you the trigger. So there's a take-up. Perfect. And then I'm going to break it. Oh, dry firing 22 LR. People are going to freak. Okay. I'm just going to do it one more time. Let me get this cock on here. Kick. Oh, okay. Let me release the safety. Okay, perfect. Or slide lock. And then here's the take-up again. And here's a break. Clack. Okay, perfect. And that's pretty much it. Those things fly out of there. You know, it's a weird magazine release in the front, but for people with smaller hands, it's going to be pretty good. Here's a Ruger. Look at this grip here. Oh man, this thumb rest for your thumb, and you know the color and the texturing of this grip is so beautiful. Stainless steel. It's so beautiful. Once again, thank you for Aaron for letting me have a look at this guy here. Nice 6 7/8 slab side barrel. You know, it saves on weight. You don't have the entire barrel to worry about there. You don't lose any type of rigidity. So both of these have bull barrels on them. You can see the Ruger Mark III, or excuse me, Mark II target on there. Sights there, also elevation and windage adjustable. Let me flip it over so you can see the screw on the other side. A little bit smaller, so you have to carry a little bit smaller screwdriver to adjust it. And this plunger, this freaking plunger of hell. I don't like breaking Rugers down, but you'll have to find some kind of a wooden dowel sometimes to push that through and pop out the mainspring housing. Well, on the Smith, there's a little button in the front, stiff as hell when you first get it, but as you break it in, it gets a little bit softer. But what you do is you push that spring in and you lift up the barrel. One weird thing, too, is there's a little plastic piece that sits right in here. If you shoot enough 22, it'll wear out, and they do give you one extra one, but you might have to buy a packet of 5 if you do shoot a lot. So I'm going to give the advantage to the Smith as far as breakdown. Now the magazine release on the Ruger, this particular model, is on the bottom. So you just got to push it, pops right out. Not as dramatic as a Smith, you know, but still very good. Here you go. I'm going to give you the trigger take-up. I think it's about the same as a Smith. So a little bit of take-up and a nice clean break. And both of these you can do trigger jobs for, but oh god, I dry fired a 22 LR again. I know. So crazy. So let me cock this back again and get the slide release there, or bolt release going there, and then you can see it again. A little bit of take up and click, very crisp. You know, some people say you need a trigger job. I don't know. I like it. You know, but that's the grips there. Once again on the other side, I like it. Here's a side by side. Nice shot there. Let me flip them over. You can see the left side. I'll roll them over again so you can see the right side, and then we'll end with you know, a good look at the back half of that. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna pause here so we can get on to the weight and trigger test. Okay, let's roll straight through it. We got the Smith & Wesson weighing in at 2.5 pounds with its fatty wooden grip. The Ruger is going to be more, weighing in at about, I think it's like 2 pounds, 12 ounces. That's because of that big, long, sexy, silky, smooth 6 7/8 bull barrel. Could be heavier if you left the portion that they cut out for the slab side. Moving on next, we got the result for the trigger pull. We got the Smith at 3.4, Ruger at 3.1. Those are relatively close. The next two slides are going to be the Smith first and the Ruger second. These are me sighting in both of the red dots. So you can see the first one there is the Ruger, or excuse me, the Smith. Once I got that dialed in and did pretty well. And then the next slide is going to be of the Ruger. Got that sighted in pretty quickly. And then the next couple of slides are going to be of a splatter target with 5 4-inch targets and 1 big 8-inch. I fired 5 small shots. 5 shots at the 4-inch groups and then 10 at the 8-inch. The first one is going to be the Smith here, and if you compare it to the Ruger here, you know, I don't see a large $300 difference in both. And keeping in mind that there are different variations, what I'm doing here is even if I go with the lower end Ruger, which would be $250, and I compared it to the lower end of the spectrum for the Smith, which is 180. You can still save a lot of money. The main point being is I don't think you need to spend exorbitant amount of money to get good at shooting 22 long rifle. No, just want to be on the side of Ruger here, because that Ruger Slabslide it's hot. That if you can afford it, you got to get it, because it's a more stout gun. It's beautiful, and I think being consistent is going to be a little bit easier with the Ruger. I mean, it is just, you hold on to that thing and it feels so good. But that's not to say that guys on a budget, if you got to pull $180, Smith and Wesson 22A, don't hang your head, because you're going to be able to get some pretty good groups. I think all you're going to need is a really decent red dot, like the one that I was using for $50. You don't need anything crazy like a Seymour or anything of that variety. But I think you're going to be satisfied either way you go. So do I like both pistols? Absolutely. But is the value going to be there on the Smith & Wesson? I absolutely think so. You're going to have a very fun time shooting both. 22 long rifles, a great time. But again, for me, I really enjoyed shooting the Smith & Wesson. But man, I got to tell you, that Ruger, whew, if you can afford it, go for it. I think what I'm going to try to do next is I'm going to try to get a baseline Ruger and then put it up against a Slabslide to see if there's a difference, and see. I don't think there's going to be a massive difference, but we'll see. So once again, thank you for everybody for your support. Aaron out there and Dexter from Real Steel Tactical for lending me the red dot again. And for all of you out there who are watching the YouTube channel, thank you so very much. If you like the video, give me the thumbs up. It's always going to help me to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. So that's the end of the review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I will catch you later.